To be happy is simple, says the Dalai Lama confidently. Why is he trustworthy? Tibetans believe that the Dalai Lama is the earthly embodiment of the Buddha of compassion. Here's what he says about it. Before you judge someone, take their shoes and walk their path. Try their tears, feel their pain, encounter every stone over which they stumbled, and only then tell them that you know how to live rightly. I am a simple monk, the philosopher likes to repeat, undoubtedly a bit deceitful about it. Primarily, he is a leader. People around the world listen to his words. His Holiness is awarded the Congressional Gold Medal, is an honorary citizen of Canada, and an honorary doctor of several universities. He is a Nobel Peace Prize laureate, but above all, he is a representative of another civilization at a high level of spiritual development. He is a fearless optimist with a splendid sense of humor, and the 7 lessons of happiness from the Dalai Lama are worth listening to. Advice for those who don't know how to find happiness. When making a decision, ask yourself, will this make me happy? Asking this question shifts our focus from what we deny ourselves to what we aspire to. Being with a loved one at any cost is not always happiness. If it requires sacrificing social life, career, or hobbies, life loses its completeness. I know a strong and interesting woman who completely eliminated friends from her life for the sake of such a relationship. Because they irritated her husband, even traditional girls' nights out disappeared. One needs to understand for oneself, does the person nearby make you happy, or is it better to give yourself a chance to meet true love? Advice for those who give more than they receive. Remember, the best relationships are those where your love for each other exceeds the need for each other. People are created to love, not to use others. A woman's task is to be happy alongside her man, not to be his personal psychiatrist or a punching bag, or the one who solves all problems, the shoulder for the man to lean on. Everything should be the other way around. And don't completely give in to relationships. Losing personal space is irreplaceable. Advice for those unhappy in relationships. We don't need more money, perfect looks, or even a perfect life partner. Right now, in this very moment, we have a mind that is a necessary and sufficient means to achieve complete happiness. Are you familiar with the situation when happiness becomes stale? When the cute slippers shuffle, first amused and then annoyed? The Dalai Lama advises seeking happiness within oneself, even with an imperfect life partner or material wealth, for instance. We have the power to fill what we have with value and cherish it. Advice for those who love to suffer. The Dalai Lama believes that people often exaggerate their sufferings and pains, taking insignificant problems to heart. Relationships are always complex. Quarrels and resentments are unavoidable. But is it worth shedding tears over a small disagreement? Perhaps it's worth changing our attitude towards our feelings. The wise advice of the Dalai Lama. Start your morning with the thought, today I am fortunate because. Look for positive moments in life. Rejoice in today, friends, health, and other important details around. You can pity yourself and live life in perpetual self-punishment, or you can find positive aspects in any situation. It's up to us to decide what to do with our lives. Advice for those who despair of finding love. When at an impasse, take an hour, a day, or even several days to think about how best to achieve happiness and then rearrange your priorities. Sometimes it's impossible to meet a worthy man, and then we despair, convinced that it's our fault. At such a moment, it's worth taking a pause and understanding what needs to change. Appearance, hobbies, circle of acquaintances. Maybe we work too much and we have no time or energy for relationships. Or we wait for a prince and don't notice a childhood friend who is in love. We scorch ourselves by mistaking a stranger for our love instead of loving and valuing the one who is nearby. We have everything to be happy. We just need to understand ourselves and be more tolerant. Advice for those who understand that any experience is just that, an experience. The philosopher said that by losing, the experience gained is not lost. We can't be sure if we made the right choice or a successful bet. People aren't immune to mistakes. stepping on the same rakes again, one can either beat themselves up or be more careful in the future, considering this incident as experience. According to the Dalai Lama, a happy woman is a woman with great reserves of patience and tranquility. She is happy and emotionally balanced, healthy, and free. Who said that something always has to happen around us? That we always need to do something, run somewhere, try to please someone? What if we stop doing that? When there's calm in personal life, it might even be better than an influx of unnecessary partners. Wise women don't rush onto the first person they meet just to avoid being alone. Advice for those disappointed in love. The warmth and love we give are much more important than the warmth and love we receive. Only when we share warmth and love do we create conditions for genuine happiness. From this follows that loving oneself is more important than being loved. A man didn't look the same way, didn't say the same thing, and became cold. And earlier, he gave gifts and flowers and cherished you. Relationships change, and the longevity of love depends on a woman's ability to love. The Dalai Lama is confident that giving and loving are more important, and then the man will respond with reciprocity. Advice for those who haven't achieved what they desired. Sometimes not getting what you want is a big stroke of luck than getting it. We've all heard these words. Be careful. What if your wish comes true? Imagine that your wishes are fulfilled as soon as you think of them. No tension, no effort, no thought work. Boom, and that's it. What's next? The next wish and its immediate fulfillment? By instantly receiving the dream come true, we might lose the chance for something greater. After all, we don't always want what we really need. Therefore, as paradoxical as it sounds, not getting what you want right away is true luck. The lifespan given to us is around 100 years. This 100 years should be lived so that there are more smiles, more happiness and joy around. Then we'll live a successful life. And it's entirely within our capabilities.